Hi, my name is Judy and I'm the City Stitcher and welcome to my Flosstube channel. Today is Sunday, October the 18th, and unfortunately it is a very gray, overcast, snowy day where I am. Yes, I am looking out at my backyard and there is snow on the ground. Winter has come. The days of glorious weather are apparently definitively, firmly over. Oh well. Hence, sweater weather from now till, May. This is a channel about cross stitch, so if you are new to this channel, thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and also spending some time with me. For those of you that are returning, you know what you're in for. It'll be more of that. For those of you that are new, I hope that you enjoy what you see. If you do enjoy, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments down below. Happy to answer any questions or comments. And with that, we're going to start off with some channel things, because there's some stuff I forgot. So last week I had every intention of getting on there and going, oh my goodness, last week was Flosstube number 26. That means I've been doing Flosstube for half a year. I know. Who can believe that 6 months have gone by? Anyway, halfway to doing this for a full year. Yeah, anyway, that was an interesting observation for me going, it was 26. And in my head, I remembered it when I made my video. I clearly forgot it. So welcome to Flosstube number 27. Still almost half a year. I'm gonna do, so got lots of questions on last week's video, so thank you very much to those of you. And so we're gonna answer some of the topics there. Debbie was wanting to know what the paint color is for the wall color behind me. So thank you for enjoying my paint choices. They're not everybody's choices. It's a little bold for some. But the paint color it's a Benjamin Moore paint, and it is number 2072-30, and it is Purple Lotus. So I have put a response to your comment from last week in case that's where you're seeing it. Also, here's where it is if you want to see it again. I'll also put it in the show notes in case you didn't catch that. Kathy, thank you so much for your very kind comment that my stitching over 2 video was understandable. My diagrams were not the best. Oh well. But thank you for saying that it was understandable. I don't know if it was helpful, but thank you for saying that it was understandable. Sally, the lime green fabric, thank you for liking that. Me too. And now, I think it's Brenda Gervais has recently released her, the next batch of releases that she's going to be doing. And I think there are a couple of patterns. If it's not her, it's somebody else. I was looking at some new pattern releases that are, they were designed on Kermit from Picture This Plus. And we'll be chatting about Picture This Plus today too for a variety of reasons. But Picture This Plus is hard to come by these days. And now that I've seen those, I am going to have to sort of say maybe that lime green 32 count Lugana is a good substitute for Kermit if you're not looking for the overdyed effect. Now again, it's not the same color as Kermit, which was what I was highlighting last week. But again, in my head, I think Kermit's a little too yellow for me, so I might have to think about that. I think again, you'd need to do a floss toss to see if it really works, but hey, it's an option. And then, Deborah, I really enjoyed your comment. Thank you for not using the M word, because you're right. By the time I'm done this, yeah, 2021 is coming. 2021 is coming, which is the prompting for the topic for this week about rotations. Do I get the irony that I want to talk about rotations when I'm going to be a monogamous stitcher from now till the end of the year? You bet. But because it means I'm dreaming of a new year. And with that, let's get on with the topics. So I do have a number of things to talk about. So I'm going to start with Van Morrison. So this is just my comment. Congratulations, Anne Morrison. The shipments from Traditional Stitches have started going out. There's lots of chatter in the Facebook group about people who have or have not gotten their stuff. I can vouch for this 100% because I know the people at Traditional Stitches saying, oh my goodness, they are doing their absolute best to get these things out as fast, efficiently, and correctly as they possibly can. Because nobody wants to open their package and go, this isn't what I ordered. And given that there were multiple thread options and multiple fabric options, yes, they're trying to be very accurate. They're also trying to be efficient. So this is a story that I have made up in my head. So this is not like a real life story. This is not based on anything, but this is a story I've made up in my head that can explain in my head how I explain it to myself. So if I were a store owner, and let's pretend it's me, because I did order Anne Morrison and I don't have my stuff. And quite frankly, I'm expecting to be like way at the bottom of the list to receive my stuff. Let's be very clear about that, which is totally fine with me because you all know it's not like I can start this thing on December the 5th anyway. That's not the point. I am a local stitcher to Traditional Stitches. It's within driving distance of me. There is no reason that that they should be worrying about getting me my stuff regardless of when I ordered it. I could have ordered it on day one, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned. And again, I'm speaking only for me. As far as I'm concerned, I should be like, if they've got 1,000 orders, and I actually know that the number is more than 1,000. It's more than 1,000 orders that they're trying to get out the door. But 1,000 makes the numbers easy. If there's 1,000 orders, there's no reason that my order should not be processed as number 999, because you know it would take me less than an hour to get to the store and get home for picking it up. So anyway, just a community note saying I can totally vouch for the fact that I know that they're doing their absolute best to get them out on a timely basis. We all just need, again, it's another week of, we all just need to practice the art of patience and understanding that everyone's turn will come, and you're going to be most appreciative when your package arrives to you and it has been packed correctly. All right, that's my sal note. The Jeanette Douglas sal started last week, and of course, as we talked about a week ago Monday, on Thanksgiving Monday here in Canada, it started. I, of course, didn't participate because I didn't meet my Marbec Nativity goal, so I was, under the rules, I was not allowed to start Jeanette Douglas. Yeah, there are no cross-stitch police, and I understand that the rules are totally self-imposed, but they were my rules for me, and I am abiding by them, which isn't always the case, but it did happen that I actually followed my own rules this week. All right, with that, and since I brought up the M word, Deborah, I really love that because that really is, it's accurate. What did I stitch on this week? Big surprise! Marbec Nativity. I felt really good this week because I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea's video, and she's been working on my Christmas list from Silver Creek Samplers, and she's like, it's week 156, and I went, oh my goodness, thank you for saying that because that's me too. I'm on week 156 of Marbec Nativity. Now, the fact that she has completely designed and stitched 192 other things, I delete those comments from my listening. That's not relevant. She's on week 152 of my Christmas list. I'm on week 162, I feel like, of the Marbec Nativity. We're kind of the same. The fact that she's done 500 other things is irrelevant, so we're not going to bring up that part of it. Marbec Nativity, working on my glorious wise men. My goal for this week was really to try to get most of this done. So, welcome to another week of failure. I'm not a failure personally, but I did not achieve my stitching goal. We're going to talk about that. So, here is my Marbec Nativity. There's my illustrious wise men. See, he's not even close to being done. I don't even know that he's half done, let alone starting on this. So this is the largely the outer border, and So there's about a 10 stitch wide band all along the bottom of this, and it is entirely cryneck, which I think I talked about before in that crushing moment when I realized that there was a lot of cryneck left in my future. So, and I will have to confess that there was one night I came home and I was stitching away, and then I realized that I had stitched something in the wrong spot, and I ripped it out and corrected that, which was good. And then I thought I had stitched something else wrong and ripped that out and discovered it had actually been stitched correctly. So at that point, I had now ripped out two things, one correctly, one incorrectly, and I felt I was doing more progress backwards than making forwards. So that night at that point I went, it's time to hang up your needle and not stitch on this, because this is gonna go badly for you. So I'm more than a little disappointed with myself. I'm disappointed with myself that I didn't get more of this done, but it is what it is, and there's more Wiseman stitch than there was the last time you saw it, so technically progress is still being made. Anyway, so that's my stitching for this week. So I really felt that I had to pull something out so that I had something to show that was stitching related. So I pulled out a previous finish. Now again, if you've watched my channel before, you know I'm really good about the finished objects, so an FO, which means the stitching is complete. I am not good at all at the fully finished objects. So I don't have a full box of things that need to be finished, but you know, the bag is starting to get full. But it is seasonal. So here is a previous finish. And yes, I'm going to pause weirdly, because again, this is how I get the lovely pictures that go on the front. So this is a previous finish. This is called Quaker Pumpkin. Now this is where the details get a little bit vague. So a number of years ago, I signed up for a couple of the Stitchy Box countdown boxes, and so this clearly was from the Halloween one. So I know that the chart name is called Quaker Pumpkin. I don't know who the designer is, and I don't know if you can find it anywhere. So I did go onto the Stitchy Box website, and I know that it is not available on their website at this point in time. But there's my Quaker Pumpkin. And yes, it's orange. I was okay with the orange because it is a pumpkin. So the details on this are, where's my piece of paper where I have the details written down? So the purple fabric, wait for it, it's going to be all the things that you didn't think that I did. So the fabric is a linen, and it is called Dusty Purple Linen by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I will also say at the time when I got this, you could get this. So this was packaged as a kit that you could get from Stitchy Box. So you got the fabric and the two threads together, which is what I did. So yes, I stitched on linen again. I think it's a 32. I didn't pay enough attention. It might be a 28. Didn't make a difference. It's the one that came in. It came in the kit. I stitched on it. There was actually enough fabric there to do 2 of these, and so I actually have done 2 of them. The orange thread is a silk from Fibrolicious, and it's called Sun-Baked Orange. So there is variegation in there. Again, this is sort of a tonally variegated thread. And then the green is Weeping Willow by Classic Colorworks. So that's my previous finish. See, I do finish things when they're smaller. Anyway. All right, so that is my previous finish. Let's do free charts. So, given that it is the Week after Thanksgiving, week after Canadian Thanksgiving. I know, for the Americans, I know this is not your Thanksgiving, it is yet to come. So this is from Hands On Design. This is called Thankful. And I think she had released this in a previous year, but it did come up in her newsletter as just sort of a reminder that it was available. And I will link that in the notes below. So that's Thankful. And for those of you that are getting ready to do Halloween things, this is another hands-on design, which came out in her newsletter from a couple of weeks ago, called Surrender the Treats. So candy corn button, candy corn look-alike thing down here. Believe it or not, wait for this statement. This is one that I actually think if you were stitching it, that it should properly be stitched on a dark brown fabric. I know. Things you never thought you would hear me say. First I'm showing something that's been stitched in orange. Now I'm saying something actually belongs on a dark brown fabric. I know. What will the world come to? So yes, I thought it was very nice. It's very Halloween appropriate. I'm not particularly a candy corn fan, but I thought the design was nice. And it would allow me to say, see, I do believe that certain things belong on brown fabric. Rarely. All right, let's talk acquisitions. So this is where I'm going to talk about, wait for it, Picture This Plus again. So in my travels through the web this week, I was looking at a site where, and we've talked about this before, Picture This Plus is running behind. And we as, including myself, as ridiculous stitchers are ordering like, you know, there's no tomorrow. On one of my videos, I had gotten a newsletter from them, which I can't remember what the numbers were that I gave you at that point in time. Like, I think it was maybe 12 to 14 weeks, I think is what they had said in their last newsletter that I got about the wait time. From the time they receive your order to the time they're able to ship an order out, 12 to 14 weeks. So again, what's my sense? Let's all practice the art of patience. Feel free to order, but you have to wait and wait and wait and wait, which is okay. It's not like I have nothing to stitch on from now till the end of the year, but okay, never mind, that'll be fine. And for those of you who ordered Ann Morrison will be coming, and that'll give you some stitching right there. But I was on a site where at the top of their, so when you went into their fabrics page and you went under Picture This Plus, they actually had a note right at the top. Couldn't miss it. So I don't remember if it was flashing or what it was doing, but big note at the top of the page that according to them, the turnaround time for shipments from Picture This Plus is 18 to 19 weeks. So I'm in my math head, I just round that up and say, let's call it 20 weeks. So 5 months. So I'm also going to do a public service announcement here, right? Because again, we've talked about this before where, you know, stores are ordering stuff. They are part of those people where they put in the orders for, you know, lots of fabric, I'm saying, because they usually don't order only a couple of pieces. They've got their orders in for lots of fabric, but they're in the same turnaround time, like these, you know, anywhere, let's call it 12 to 19 weeks. And, you know, I've heard of some people who are sort of, you know, they put in an order and then they shop around, and if they find a store that has it, they buy it from that store and then they turn around and try to cancel it from the store that they originally ordered for. My request is that if you place an order for Picture This Plus fabric, please leave it with the store that you ordered it from, because usually the stores, now, do I know every store? Of course not. There's too many of them. Can I speak for every store around the world? Of course not. The stores that I know of, if they say they've ordered your fabric, they've ordered your fabric, which means they've already put the request in for that. And to have you cancel, is a problem, particularly during these times for small business, which again, a lot of our LNSs and online local needlework stores are small businesses. So if you're going to put an order in, respect the store and maintain that order, and don't try to shop it around. Do your shopping around first before you even place an order. Now, again, the stores that I know of, not every store shows real-time inventory on the front of their storefront. And not all stores can get back to you quickly. But if you feel like you need it as an emergency fabric, good luck finding it, and maybe have a backup plan. Now, my stash is actually Picture This Plus fabric, which I had a moment where I said, should I actually be showing this or not showing this? And I decided I would go ahead with the caveats that I've just said. Hey, Picture This Plus is running really far behind. I don't really know how to help them. I don't know if it's helpful if we ordered less, or I don't know. I don't know what the right answer for that is. Now, these acquisitions, as I said, I've been doling out my acquisitions slowly. So these came back from in the summer, certainly before there was snow on the ground. And it happened that I knew that my LNS had received a shipment from Picture This Plus, waited for them to fill out their orders, and then got to assess. But I did get some, and I really like it. So I thought I would show it. Again, with the caveat, if you really like it too, that's really great. And if you choose to place an order, that's great too, as long as you are prepared to wait and that you honor the order that you placed. Thank you. All right, and with that, here are the fabrics that I have added to my stash. Dun, dun, dun. I really like this one. Actually, I'm gonna open it one more so you get the full effect. So all of my fabric purchases here are Luganas. So there is no linen. And so again, another reminder that when you're doing Picture This Plus, all of the overdyed companies, Luganas and Jobelins and Ada's, take the dye differently from each other and differently from linen. So again, with a hand-dyed product, what you see my piece look like is not necessarily what your piece is going to look like. We'll talk about that in just a second here. So without further ado, welcome to 32 count pansy. 32 count Lugana in pansy. So again, how modeled, so I do find that on the even weaves, the modeling is less harsh. So that if you were to get this in a linen, that the contrast between the light and the darks are potentially more noticeable, so that you feel like that the modeling is more intense, which is generally, again, for the way that I like my fabric to look, I don't like it to where you look at it and go like, that's really modeled. So this is more my flavor of modeling. I love this. Can't you just picture one of those Nora Corbett pixies on there? This is also actually, believe it or not, really good for Halloween things, right? So there was one, I was looking at a pattern and I think it was stitched on something brown. I want to say that it was stitched on Picture This Plus Murky, which is a color I don't like. It's not me. It's all the wrong colors for me. And I just looked at it and said, ooh, if you just put it on something purple, that would probably be a really nice piece. So again, purple for Halloween. Okay, it also goes really nice with my wall color. Anyway, so that is 32 count Lugana Pansy by Picture This Plus. I think it's lovely. Oh, for 2021 to come, when I'm going to be allowed to stitch on other things. Won't that be a glorious day? Okay, I won't put it back in the bag. We'll do that in a minute. So this is fabric number 2, which is also 32 count Lugana. And this is called Masquerade. Now, actually, it's really funny when I hold it up like this going, can you imagine why in the world this fabric appealed to me? Yeah, can't figure it out. Look at based on the room that I'm filming this in. Anyway, yeah. Have I figured out what belongs on it? No, but again, during the times of, you know, hard to get things, it was there, so I bought it and brought it home to my stash, and there's lots of opportunity in 2021 to solve the problem of what will we be putting on this. And then the third piece is also 32 count Lugana, and it is called Shadow. So again, in my head, this is kind of like similar to the fabrics that are used for those chalkboard things. Now, I generally use 32 count Lugana in charcoal from Zweigart for, you know, like when I'm doing the hands-on designs chalkboard things. But I figured this was actually a really good option. There's also a Mirabilia that I'm contemplating putting on here. I haven't decided. I need to think about it. So, yeah. So there are 3 pieces of Picture This Plus Lugana. So they're all 32 count Luganas. I've all added them to my stash. I have a couple of concepts for 2 of them. As I said, I haven't quite figured out what I'm gonna put on the Masquerade, but as you can see, I really felt like that that fabric needed to come home. All right, so those are my acquisitions, my Stashquisitions for this episode. So now we're gonna get to the topic. I fully acknowledge the irony of this topic, and I don't really have anything to show for it, so no diagrams, no nothing. This is just talk. So if you really came for the stitching and the acquisitions and the free charts and you don't care about the topics, thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great week. For those of you that are sticking around, here's the topic, rotations. So, currently I am a monogamous stitcher because I have this big goal that I'm trying to get the Nativity done so that I can give it as a present in 2020. I feel like I'm falling behind, but it'll be okay. Okay, it'll be fine. But come 2021, when I've accomplished that goal, that's how I'm talking positive. Once I've accomplished that goal in 2020, 2021 is going to be the year where I get to start all sorts of new things, and won't that be exciting for everybody? So that got me to thinking about, so again, this is what I do while I'm stitching. I listen to Flosstube, I contemplate what I'm going to stitch in 2021, I think about all these things that I'm going to do and how exciting it's going to be. And so then I was thinking about what I was going to do about a rotation. So I generally tend to be a monogamous stitcher just because if I put things away, they have a tendency to not make it back out and get finished. So I'm trying to figure out how to do a type of rotation that, one, doesn't let me get to too many whips, works in progress. So there are lots of people out there where they have lots and lots of whips, and I'm going to make up some numbers here. Like there was someone, I want to say she's got like 90 whips or something like that. People who've got, I think on the Sunshine Stitchers, EJ was maybe saying she had 40 whips or something like this because she's doing no new starts in 2021, which every time somebody says that they're part of the no new starts in 2021, I laugh because I go, oh my goodness, 2021 is the year where I start all sorts of new things. It will be so exciting. So I don't want to get to that many whips, so I don't want to start too many and have a lot lingering, because let's face it. So in May for Mania, one of my things that I tried out was I did try a rotation where I had a main piece that I worked on during the week, and then I started something new every weekend, and it had to be a small piece, which was interesting, and I felt that, you know, it gave me some breaks. I don't think I finished anything during the month of May. So I started 5 new small things, and as of this moment, I think I've finished 3. So I still have 2 outstanding. So I still have the Shepherd's Bush Summer Notes has not been completed, and the My Big Toe pattern Choose Joy is, actually I haven't picked that up since May. So, congratulations. I started 5 small things, and I've only finished 3. Now, do I understand why that is? Because I've been working on Marbec, and I acknowledge that. Like, if I had not been stitching on Marbec, would those 2 other things have been completed? You betcha. Plus Fairy Winter Dream, plus a couple of other things, you bet. So, it's not that I don't think I could have finished those. It's because I had a different objective and a different goal that I was working towards. But I do want to make sure that I don't want to get too many whips going. So this is where I'm looking for comments from you guys down below about, 1, do you do a rotation, or are you primarily a monogamous stitcher? 2, if you do a rotation, what type of rotation works for you? So, Priscilla and Chelsea, they've got their days of the week, like Witchy Wednesday, Fall Fridays, Stars and Stripes Saturdays, Santa Sundays, Merry Mondays. I'm not sure if I've got those correct, but kind of that gist where they have a theme for each day of the week, and that's what they stitch on. Jen Lee from Quirks and Stitches, I think she's got a rotation going on where it's like if it's a really big project that she's spending, that she'll pull them out and she'll work like 5 days on that project, and then she will work on something else, and then depending on size. So I think she's got she's figured out for her all like these 5 different sizes. Maybe it's 4, not sure. But it's like, so depending on the size of the project, whether she stitches on it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, depending on the size. Now she has a large number of whips. I don't want to have her number of whips because that will stress me out and I won't enjoy that. But I can certainly say from being a heavily monogamous stitcher, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to stitch on other things. But I'm falling behind in my goals. And I'm also having that moment saying, like, maybe you just need to take a couple of days and stitch on something else. But I'm afraid that if I stitched on something else, I'm not going to want to come back to this. So my answer to myself is no, you need to keep slogging through this. It's going to work out at the end and you're going to accomplish a goal. And 2021 is coming along where you're going to get to start all sorts of new things that you've been planning in your head. And they're going to be great. And you're going to enjoy stitching all of those as soon as you accomplish your goal. I just need to accomplish my goal. So, yes, so here's the question for the group think and for comment down below, because I do think a rotation would be good, because I did kind of enjoy it in May. I enjoyed having more than one thing going at one time. Now, it was interesting because it was a one thing during the week and then a new thing every weekend. I think that's too many starts for me. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this, but I feel like a rotation would be good for me. So I'm looking for thoughts. So please comment down below if you've got any ideas about what I should do for a rotation in 2021 when I start all new things. All right, and with that, that is the end of my episode for this week. So I hope you have enjoyed what you've seen. I hope you all have had a really good week. I hope everybody is taking care and being safe, because you know me and my safety first. Safety first, safety first. And with that, I hope everybody has a good week and look forward to seeing you next week. See you.